Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty big news going over here when it comes to PlayStation on and their future of the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 5 Pro, the future of what games they're going to go making of, well, people are not necessarily too happy with it. And of course, I think this could be a really big gamble when it comes to the PlayStation ecosystem as a whole, but it may pay off, it may not. And that's why we're kind of making this video, because I would love to hear your thoughts and comments on everything down below. And as well, if you guys just are kind of curious, there is a weird kind of, segment switch when it comes to the gaming sphere as a whole. Xbox obviously has been focusing cloud gaming and Game Pass. PlayStation has been kind of just, like selling accessories and just trying their best to sell consoles and of course their big AAA games. But as well, we still have had a really wide focus on live service games. And if you guys have actually had a chance to see a lot of these types of games, such as I'd maybe even say Marvel Rivals, like these hero shooters or any type of game that'll have a continuous update, such as maybe even, honest to God, maybe in Call of Duty at this point, Fortnite, etc. All these types of big games are both doing really well, and of course costing companies, well, billions of dollars depending on how you go look at it. So let's go and see if this could be a good idea. Let's see the kind of the overall vibe, and of course I want to hear your thoughts and comments on everything down below. And I do think a lot of people are kind of skeptical on this too as well. A lot of people are kind of concerned, and I'm going to probably take that viewpoint a little bit on this video, just because it is kind of true. Like, I think a lot of people are kind of scared, I guess, of the future of gaming, if everything's going to be an occasional update, and if you have to go lock on and learn every single game. So subscribe if you guys are new, subscribe with the notifications on for the gaming news, and of course as well, we have a little bit more information on the PS5 Pro giveaway. Apply that, I think, maybe uploading tomorrow's videos, and as well, don't forget we are going on a little mini break in the near future, so keep that in mind. So definitely have your notifications on, because I will probably do a few sporadic videos nonetheless throughout that entire time. And also the affiliate links down below, Twitch and Twitter's down below, and let's dive into the fact that PlayStation is now going to continue focusing on live service games. Now, you guys might be kind of thinking, like, is this a big deal? You'd expecting, like, these consoles to be making games either way. Well, we kind of have some issues with it, because obviously there's a little bit of a skepticism. We had a lot of very big, mediocre games. Good examples, we saw Concord. Concord was kind of meant to be a live service hero shooter type style game. And as you guys can probably go and tell, Marvel Rivals has completely overtaken that. A lot of people enjoyed the Marvel IP, the superheroes they've kind of grown to love, and of course can make a lot of money. You sell skins, you sell battle passes, you have even a free-to-play game, and it can roll on out. But Concord was a big mistake, and I think a lot of you guys have probably seen this, or I mean, they apparently spent over $400 million to, on top of that, with marketing and other various development stuff. They tried to sell the game, which basically no one really bought, and they ended up refunding every single game. And just at the end of the day, people are like, what is going on here? What is happening? And of course, if you even look at like Destiny 2, you kind of even look through some of their articles on top of this. People, even just go look for Destiny 2. This is going to be the year whether we can find out Destiny 2 can survive. And we go through all this news and there's big updates on this, and live service can make a lot of money. Destiny as a whole has probably been a profitable company because, well, duh, it's still in business, but it definitely has the ebbs and flows of it, where sometimes they have 300,000 people playing on a brand new expansion, and then sometimes people are curious if the game is even going to keep on existing in the long run. And that's where the kind of the big issue with live service games is, because you have games like Helldivers, which once again, same vibe. If there's a brand new update, which the most recent update, the brand new planets and characters, was fun, was well made. They basically had like over 100,000 people playing the game at a time. And I think that's an overall dub. I am happy with that experience. I'm happy with the vibe of it. But once again, you have things like Concord that maybe cost a lot of money, or as well the Last of Us multiplayer that they announced has now been canceled. And they definitely spent tens of millions of dollars making this, because this is a popular game that people are excited for and they want to go and play it. I love the Last of Us IP, and I do think a multiplayer game would be nice. Get the factions and make it like a Daisy style game. But while we have had some rumors that this might have a small team still allocated towards it, we don't necessarily know the future. But apparently PlayStation doesn't care. Even with some of the wins and the dubs, like Helldivers and, depending how you look at it, maybe Destiny 2, there is also a lot of these L's. And, well, apparently it doesn't matter, because PlayStation is hyper-focusing to continue on live service games on 2025. Now, they will still be making normal software games, and this is where people are kind of skeptical on this. Just on a high level, if you kind of go through, like, even the Reddit comments and the initial reception, even on the first few minutes, along with the story-driven single-player titles our players want. Full quote. Good. We'd like to see that, too, as well. And I've also people are like, yo, why would you just want to go clickbait it, too? Which sometimes the clickbait works, I'll be honest, but whatever. And then we'll go and say some other games have been good. Like, some people are like, yeah, this is a good vibe, this is a good overall too. But then some people are just dropping big, just straight up lames. And I do agree. If you make a live service game, it's fun for like a week or two. For most people, I mean, at least for me. Escape from Tarkov, good example. If you guys ever played that, if not, it's probably one of the coolest games out there. Although still definitely a work in progress, where it's like you have a chance to like use like a arena shooter. You have like 10 different people or maybe like 20 different people, and you have to get loot, and the loot you get between every round, and you kill like certain NPCs. You get to go and keep that and bring that to your next raids, and you have a chance to build outfits and build bases. Like, it's a really genuinely cool game, and even Call of Duty tried to somewhat copy their style with that new game mode. But of course, that game is fun for around 1 to 3 weeks, depending, maybe a bit longer if you're a hardcore fan of it. Think Fortnite. A lot of the brand new Fortnite seasons, people will go and check out for the first few days. Destiny 2, Helldivers, all these big examples. When the updates come, it makes the game fun. It's a good experience. But when it's not there, it is kind of meh. So I don't know, but I do kind of agree. I think my high level for this one, some of the comments and receptions on this, is that if you give us live service games in the mix of other various games, in the mix of good single player games, like it's a bonus. Like you're somehow found this feasible thing where you're making money in Call of Duty or Fortnite or microtransactions in that same genre, and it's fun. And I'm kind of cool with that too as well. But at the same exact time, dude, some people are like, well, that sucks for Sony, I guess. Herman Hulse sounds like a complete moron. PlayStation users will continue to never go and purchase one too as well. They have 1.5 good online service games, and how many failed attempts, and they decide just to double down. This is not it. And I would kind of agree. I'd probably say Helldivers and Destiny was the 1 and 2. It made a lot of money. They sold a lot of copies on Helldivers, good vibes. And then obviously Destiny is kind of hit or miss, although right now it's definitely missing, and they need to get themselves locked on in. I would also want to argue and say that I'd want PlayStation to go and prioritize the games like Helldivers, like Destiny, and fine-tune up the games more, and maybe have a few various IPs thrown on in. People are saying Concord 2, baby, only Sony can make it happen too as well. People are saying I'm not fully against that as long as it's fun to play. But then we're also now just seeing people literally booing. Like, back to back within the same minute, their first initial reactions are literally just boo, boo. And I'm not against it. Like, I like live service games, but at the same time, we'll have to see. They say the game business is constantly changing due to various factors, including technological advances, new genres, and ways of playing. Hull said via auto translation, because it's a Famitsu article. However, one thing that remains constant is people's desire to great entertaining experiences, which I agree. Like, you give me a good Fortnite expansion, I'll play. You give me a good, like, Helldivers expansion, I'll play. And I have. I've put my money and my time where it's at. Give me Marvel Rivals, and I get new updates all the time, new characters, Overwatch, League of Legends. All the games I usually play, I'm down with. But you have to make it good. And that's the issue, is that they have a lot of flops. And live service is really hard. You need to go and dedicate millions of dollars. Think World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy 14. They have to go and spend, like, $15 a month to continue supporting the game. And there is content. Like, there is content. World of Warcraft adds like new updates and dungeons and raids, and like has tiered systems and unlocks stuff every week, and like it's a really good player-based cycle. It's fun. Destiny 2 sometimes has a good player, like, like player loop or whatever, but it's getting a little stale at this point, and that's the issue, is if games get stale, you need new stuff. So that's maybe what they're thinking. They need new IPs and things to make happen. They say, however, one thing that remains constant is people's desire for great entertainment experiences and attention to games that continues to grow. However, this has also created competition. Like many companies in the industry, we've had to make changes to our business to solidify a more sustainable operating base. Hulse continued by saying PlayStation will continue to focus on developing live service titles along with story-driven single-player titles that our players want. And that's the big deal, is like, at the end of the day, it's nothing crazy, but they want to go make games that are good. They want to make good live service games. They want to go and make good single player games. So if they can pull off this crazy balance and make everything work, I'm all for it. I'm into it. But if they kind of go and drop another $400 million on a Concord and then have to go and, I don't know, maybe drop other games like The Last of Us multiplayer because they dropped $400 million on Concord, that's going to take stuff away from us. And I think that's where people are concerned at. Because, yeah, if they would have spent $400 million in The Last of Us multiplayer, they probably would have made that money back. Maybe not fully, because live service is risky. Maybe the game flops, but probably a little more likely than a random, brand new, risky IP such as Concord. And as well, they're saying, as far as why a continued effort towards live service games, Hulse pointed to a Helldivers 2 success as a reason. The co-op title from Arrowhead Game Studios showed how a live service game can succeed in the modern era. And it's something that PlayStation and Sony are trying to put their attention on, and have been for the last few years. But that's why people are kind of skeptical. Because, well, we had games that have not been working, like Concord. We've had games like Destiny 2 that are kind of fizzling out. We have seen some other occasional bangers, such as like Fortnite still existing and Marvel Rivals, as I mentioned. But at the end of the day, like, we have to see them prove themselves, and they haven't really fully done it yet. Helldivers was a good risk, but there also was a lot of negativity involved. The Sony PlayStation accounts, people not kind of boycotting the game, and it's just not a good vibe at the end of the day. So they're saying, They just want to go make the games good. They want to have things that people are saying in their ecosystem. And now, what if that's even an Xbox vibe? Because Xbox does have Game Pass consistently. Maybe PlayStation for PlayStation Plus for multiplayer, perhaps. We're not really entirely sure. But some people are concerned and skeptical. I have faith. As long as I don't take away from single player games, I'm okay with them to go and try. Although so far it has a little bit more of a miss than a hit so far. So give me your thoughts and comments on everything down below. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on here for our PS5 Pro giveaway, which I think should be good. Hopefully, maybe, I'm not sure, but just in case, get your last minute entries. I know we'll have another giveaway in the near future. All the affiliate links, Twitters, and Twitches down below. And I appreciate you all so much for watching here in the first place.